What once started as a marketing method by crypto startups to gain traction from the very beginning has now become a lucrative way for crypto users to build their portfolio and earn quite a bit. Now, airdrops happen on a weekly basis. Therefore, you'd assume this would be an easy earner to get started with. But the truth is, finding the most profitable ones isn't always an easy task, especially if you have no prior experience with decentralized finance. But fear not, because in this video I'm going to break down everything you need to know, and by the end I'll help you get the same knowledge as those who have turned airdrops into a side hustle. So let's jump in. Now, let's start with the basics. The term crypto airdrop refers to a project gifting tokens to a wallet address that's qualified based on a predetermined set of rules. In essence, when a protocol hasn't yet issued its own token and wants to distribute its supply in a way that's designed to reward early adopters and participants in its ecosystem, that's what's known as an airdrop. But the tricky part is that crypto airdrops are usually an unknown surprise. No one outside of the team typically knows if and when a project will deliver a token, nor what the predetermined qualification rules are. Or do they? Now, the main question that people ask is, why would a project airdrop a token instead of just conducting an initial coin offering, or otherwise known as an initial exchange offering? The reason is because airdrops come with a number of benefits, while ICOs don't. Here are a few. For one, it's easy to get the token into market circulation. You see, launching a token comes with a range of different challenges that the team has to consider, and it could easily be a double-edged blade that could make or break the entire project. These would depend on the purpose and nature of the token itself, but one of the main worries is whether or not people would invest and trade it. You see, you can have the best protocol on your hands, but if the token is constantly nosediving and going nowhere, that's likely to discourage future users. Airdropping tokens to active users, on the other hand, means that the team is feeding the coins directly to the target users. Even if many of them dump them instantly, some will definitely keep them and use the product. That's how a customer base is forged. There aren't many things in crypto that can create hype as strong as a good airdrop, and the examples are plentiful. Take Arbitrum, for example. People were talking about the airdrop from the moment the network went live, and many users started performing various tasks with the sole purpose of qualifying for a future airdrop that may or may not happen. And third is it cultivates strong communities. Because people who suspect that an airdrop might be in the cards spend more time using the protocol, engaging with other users, even donating to project-related grants. Now, you need to know that not all airdrops are safe. There are many profitable airdrops, but there are also many scams. Just as in all things crypto, you have to be particularly careful. Many scammers will try to exploit the excitement that airdrops create and lure people into connecting their wallets to malicious apps and drain their funds. When it comes to hunting for airdrops, you should apply the same scrutiny as with everything else. In fact, we have a guide on how to avoid DeFi scams, so make sure to check it out, as it fully applies to airdrops as well. Airdrop hunting has become a very lucrative endeavor, and many users are spending time performing various activities on protocols that haven't issued their tokens. That said, doing it effectively and being able to make a considerable amount from it is not that easy and requires both time and knowledge of how to use various DeFi protocols. It's also worth noting that many of the platforms that you'll be using might end up not issuing a token at all. This means that you might end up spending funds on fees without getting anything in return. Airdrop hunting also carries the risk of making costly mistakes, especially if you're working with larger amounts. However, based on most airdrops of major platforms so far, you probably won't need a lot of funds to qualify for a considerable number of tokens. And with respect to how profitable it could be, let's have a look at some examples. Now, this was probably the first major airdrop that pioneered the field of distributing tokens by these means. The Uniswap airdrop itself was done on September 1st, 2020. Anyone who used the platform before that date was eligible for it, and the airdrop saw 60% of the total supply, or 600 million tokens, distributed to Uniswap community members. 15% of Uni supply could be claimed by liquidity providers, 4.9% was distributed pro rata to all LPs, but the average user, which accounted for most of the participants, was airdropped a total of 400 Uni tokens, and a total of 12,000 addresses received this amount. Back when it happened, Uni started trading at around $4, and a lot of people were able to sell out at this price, securing a quick $1,600 payment for having used Uniswap, but once before the date of the snapshot. Of course, those who held Uni and sold close to the all-time high would have pocketed close to $18,000. In April 2022, Optimism, the popular Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution, launched its token through an airdrop on May 31st, 2022. A total of 231,000 addresses were eligible to claim 214 million OP tokens. As you can see, by that time airdrops have become quite popular, as evident by the whopping increase in eligible users. In any case, this distribution saw around 930 OP tokens on average distributed to a single address. The token started trading at around $1.30, which meant that the qualified users got a minimum of $1,200. OP peaked at $3.22, making the airdrop worth over $3,000 at the all-time high prices. Recently, Optimism launched another airdrop where users received about 30 OP tokens on average. The team plans to continue distributing tokens this way until 19% of the supply is airdropped to eligible members. Arbitrum is the latest major airdrop to hit the market. It happened on March 23rd, 2023, and distributed around 13% of the total supply to users who had performed certain tasks ahead of the snapshot, and to DAOs who helped build different decentralized applications on the network. The minimum received amount was 1,250 ARB, while the maximum was 10,250 per address. This would depend on the number of tasks that users had performed ahead of the snapshot. That said, the token started trading at $1.20, netting everyone who received tokens a bare minimum of $1,500. Now that you know how much money legitimate and large airdrops ship on average, it's perhaps time to learn how to find the next Arbitrum. Now, there are multiple websites that provide aggregated information on various protocols, and a lot of them are entirely free. DappRadar and others of the kind are great ways to start. From there, just filter the list by network and try going for projects that have a lot of value locked in them. This is typically a sign that the protocol is trusted by many people and decreases the odds of it being a scam. And now that you have that narrowed down, simply find protocols that have not yet released tokens and start using them. Because the truth is that there's no clear-cut way to do so other than just performing various activities on protocols that haven't yet released a token. Luckily though, we have a good idea of what these activities could look like based on previous airdrops, and these could include conducting transactions during different months, conducting more than a certain number of transactions, interact with more than 1, 2, or 3 smart contracts using the platform, conduct transactions with an aggregate value of more than $1,000 or more, deposit funds to the protocol, provide liquidity, swap tokens, buy and sell NFTs, bridge funds into the protocol. The list can go on and on. The best way to go about it is to just pinpoint a protocol and try to use it as much as you can, as you would if you were not an airdrop hunter. Caution. Now, this is something you need to know before getting serious with this. As I already mentioned, it's important to make sure that the projects you're interacting with are legitimate and not scams. you should also consider the fact that airdrop hunting requires a certain investment. While you can forego investing and providing liquidity to eliminate the risks of loss, you'll still have to pay fees. On certain networks like Ethereum, this could quickly add up to hundreds of dollars, especially if you're doing this extensively or full-time. Also, it's advisable to isolate a new ERC20 address for every airdrop you participate in. Aside from privacy, it will protect you in case you've been scammed and your wallet gets drained, allowing you to minimize your loss. And be aware of pinching. Scammers know that users are seeking and searching for hot airdrops. Hence, they'll try to create identical websites, which interacting with them will often end in draining your wallet. So always make sure you're interacting only with the protocol's official website. So, overall, hunting for airdrops can be a very profitable endeavor, and one that doesn't require a considerable investment to begin. But what are your thoughts on profiting from airdrops? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, then consider subscribing for more content like this. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.